Coming to you from the land of the rising sun
and down under.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is
Distanto
Relativo with trust issues.
Whoa. Starting strong here. Why do you have trust issues?
No, this episode is going to be about trust issues.
Ooh, interesting. Go on.
Not the relationship kind of trust issues, but
unfortunately
with the world. Jer,
with
the world. Okay, so let me just get into it before we go into the updates. So what should the fam expect in this episode? Recently, Jer, I almost experienced getting conned, scammed, fished. I don't know what to call it.
Oh my god.
During this period, like cybercrimes and cases for scamming have gone up,
Really?
apparently. Yeah. And for the fam listening in Japan or living in Japan, I just want you to know what happened to me. And if ever that you experienced something like this, like if a fishy person comes to your house, although it's not a one-size-fit-all kind of deal, I hope that my experience can help you out. And I'll be giving tips on what you can do to avoid the situation completely, if ever. Those listening from other countries, well, I'm sure this also happens all over the world. And Japan is not spared. It's funny, though, that we talked about the things that we love and don't love last episode.
Yeah, you were just like, Japan's so safe, the security and all that. And then now you just got conned.
Almost.
Almost. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so we cannot let our guards down.
Oh my gosh, this is so scary. I mean, people need to listen to this.
Yeah, especially if you live in a different country, it's even more scarier. So let's get into the updates. So Jer, maybe you can start it off for us.
Update. You may have noticed that I have a sexy bed voice. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
No,
Anyway.
I just slept at 4:30 a.m.
Personal update. Okay.
Yeah. I slept at 4:30 a.m. because my husband recently celebrated his birthday, and I prepared like an all Japanese cuisine for him. Ask me what I made, Kuya Kyle.
What did you make there?
I made fried agadashi tofu, Japanese salad, chicken teriyaki, beef ramen stir fry.
Beef ramen stir fried.
Yeah, beef ramen noodles stir fry and all that jazz. And like I did that from scratch. But of course the family helped. But that was fun. But that was so tiring.
No sushi bake?
No, unfortunately not. Because I might do that next time because you sent me the link to it and it looks delicious.
Oh my gosh, it's all the rave in the Philippines right now.
Really? Fine. Yeah. I'll do it someday.
I have a lot of people asking for furikake. And I'm like, why? And they're like, sushi bake. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about this phenomenon.
Yeah, but like I feel like the real sushi lovers think it's like blasphemy.
Yeah, that's true.
You are
it's
ruining
not the real thing.
Yeah, the beauty of sushi.
Also the rice thing. Have you seen the rice thing on the BBC girl who tried to cook rice?
Yeah, just no. It was so bad. Like, how and why did they think that was the right thing to do? It was so funny.
Actually, though, I thought that person really didn't know how to cook rice the best way they can.
Yeah.
But is there really just one way to cook rice? And that's interesting though. Like she was able to figure out something for herself and hopefully it worked. Yeah, it's the cultural thing.
Yeah, just now we are the rice eating countries. Yeah.
We are right no matter what.
That was blasphemy.
Yeah. But new inventions come from weird ideas. So
oh yeah, I also remember Gordon Ramsay when he cooked rice. Like it was soupy. And he was like, yeah, rice needs to be wet and stuff. And people were like, that is not how you do rice. It was like soupy rice. Can you imagine? Blech.
No, I don't know. No, that's just not right for me. But then,
if it works for them,
if it works for them,
you do you, boo.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, updates on your end, Kuya Kyle.
Okay, so I'm also not feeling very well right now. Did you say that you were not feeling well?
No, I just said like I have a sexy bed voice.
Okay,
but, you
yes.
know.
It's implied. So me too. I also have a sexy bed voice. Right? Just kidding. So before... Well, anyway, so here in Tokyo, it was supposed to be the Tokyo Olympics this week.
Oh, this week already?
Yeah.
Time flies.
Time flies. So it was rescheduled to next year. So
Damn.
we were so excited for it. I was kind of excited for it. Also a little bit scared because of the amount of people coming in, and we would have to go to work and the trains will be so full and everything.
For sure. But that would have been fun though.
It would have been fun,
I mean, minus the pandemic and everything.
Yeah, well,
and
if the pandemic didn't happen.
Yeah. The logo hurts me because Japan made such a good logo for 2020, and I don't know how they'll be able to like redo that to 2021. I'm so sad for them. Like all of the materials and everything. They tried
the whole
so
excitement
hard.
is now just fizzled down, but at least there's something to look forward to.
Next week, hopefully everything's better by next year. Sorry.
Okay.
I was like next week.
Oops. So another thing that's going on. So remember when I told you about the mask police update?
Yeah.
Like 2 episodes ago? So there's a new phenomenon happening here in Japan called the number plate hunting.
Ooh, what's that?
So I'm not sure if this only happens in Japan, but the names of the city where you live in are imprinted on the plate number.
Okay.
So you know where the cars come from.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the Philippines has that too.
Really? Like
yeah.
Talaga? Anyway, maybe things changed.
Yeah.
Oh, this is new.
Can't believe you didn't trust me.
No, but I just really wanted to know because when I was in the Philippines, it was a thing.
That was like 8 years ago, man.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Anyway, so here in Japan, because of that, people damaged the plate numbers of cars coming from different prefectures.
Damn.
Yeah, so just to scare them off. So they kind of like bend it and stuff. Yeah, that's the thing.
Who does these things?
I don't know.
Like crazy.
And there was one instance where this convenience store owner, so this is from the news, okay? All of this is from the news.
Yeah.
A convenience store owner like brought out a cutter, threatening the person coming from a different state, different prefecture to like go away.
Because of COVID.
Yeah, because of COVID, yeah. So that's the context of everything. They're scared that COVID would come. So why is this a problem? Because there are a lot of people who live on the border who would traverse the neighboring prefecture for work, to shop, or for whatever purpose.
Yeah.
And these people are subject to these forms of aggression. So,
wow.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, like people must be really paranoid there. They're like, why are you endangering everyone? Why are you traveling? You should stay in your own area and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Damn, that's so scary though.
Exactly. Like threatening and like knives and everything. That is next level aggression.
Japan's so safe.
Yeah.
Sounds super safe.
Super safe.
But yeah, that's insane. But I mean, you can see where they're coming from, but that's like in a totally different level. Like they're crazy.
Well, some people. I won't say everyone is, right?
Yeah, but they can't put, the matter into their own hands.
Yeah, I mean,
the government should be limiting travel and like checking borders and stuff. So they shouldn't manually threaten people. Yeah.
The thing is here,
that's scary.
It's a different kind of culture. It's they call it like a shame culture. So it's a very Eastern Asian kind of culture where external pressures are the ones that influence your action or behavior. So I guess just to contrast that, in Western cultures, they're more of a guilt culture where your actions are based on your own guilt or what you think is right or wrong. So those are like the two opposite sides of the spectrum. So in Japan, it's more of a shame culture. So you are influenced by the people around you. Okay. So
that's the update.
That's the update. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the story.
Yes. So I want to hear from you. So you mentioned that last week you were almost conned. So tell us what happened. Where did it begin? How did it start?
Okay. So it was a Sunday.
Ooh.
A full week.
Story time.
Yeah. it was lunchtime and I was having lunch with my family over Zoom. You were there. You were there. So, because we were celebrating birthdays for the month of July. So we were having fun and everything. We were playing games. And actually, this happened before you came into
Okay.
So suddenly, the doorbell rang.
Okay.
But I wasn't expecting anything anymore because my Uber Eats already arrived with my Korean fried chicken and my Korean pancakes. So I was like, yep, exactly. I was already like settled. So I was kind of like scared and I thought like, who could this be?
Yeah.
And the first thing that came to mind was the NHK man.
What's that? What's the NHK man?
Okay, so I don't think a lot of people know about this, but here in Japan, NHK, I think it's known everywhere. Like, it's one of the biggest broadcasting networks.
Oh, yeah. I know NHK. Yeah.
And they control the radio waves for TV. So, local TV. Like, in the Philippines, it would be Channel 2, Channel 7, like that. So, it's not cable TV. But here in Japan, the thing is, they ask you to pay for the local TV waves. So, if you want to watch TV, you'd have to pay for it.
Okay. So it's not free.
It's not free.
Okay.
But the thing is, even if you don't want to watch TV, people still come and ask you to pay for it.
Wait. I have a question. How do they know if you're watching TV?
So they don't know. The first time that they came to my house, I didn't even own a TV. It was the first time living in Japan. Nothing. Yeah, exactly. But they came in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but they came to my house and they said like, you need to pay. And I said, I don't have a TV. Why do I need to pay for it?
Oh my god.
And they said, do you have a cell phone? Do you have a computer? So this was like in Japanese and everything. I should have just like, you know, pretended I didn't know anything. But
yeah, you were like, huh?
And they were like, those can pick up waves from the waves from the radio waves. I don't know what to call it. And I'm like, but I mean, I'm not even watching TV. Why are you forcing me to pay? And they say, because it's the law.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and
stressful.
Super stressful. And I was like, oh no, I have, because it's the law. I can't not pay it, right? But apparently, a lot of Japanese people don't pay for this. And they don't want to pay for it because, you know, it's like stealing. Like, why are you forcing us to pay for just being in a place that can accept these radio waves? We don't have TV. We don't even watch TV. Those kinds of people. Like, it's just like people coming in just forcing money out of their pockets. So for me, I totally regretted like, you know, paying for that. And like, I felt like I was, so I'm not saying this is like a con kind of thing, but that was what I was expecting to come from me right now. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Okay. Wait. So the NHK guy isn't a scam?
I don't know what to call it.
Is it a legitimate
It's a legitimate thing because it is the law, okay? So people who are here should be paying. Should, okay? The term is should.
That doesn't make sense though, because they don't have like proof, or they don't know if you're actually watching. Like, there should be like a subscription or something, but not like people just randomly knocking and saying, oh, you have radio waves, so I mean TV waves, you need to pay. That doesn't make sense. And that's so weird.
You should just convert to cable then. It's my thought, right? And just ask people to pay if they want to watch. So don't make it available for people.
That's so
weird. It's so weird, right?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like a Jehovah's Witness or something.
Have you experienced that?
Yeah, I experienced it here in Australia, like when I was new as well. Like, I was staying in my tita's apartment, but I was alone at that time. And then suddenly, somebody just rang our number in the apartment, and we have this like telecom thingy that we can answer like the doorbell and we can see who's there. So I was like, hello, who's this? And then there was like, hi, we just want to share the word of the Lord with you. And can we go up your place?
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I mean, it's so hard to say no to, you know, those kinds of things because you don't want to be mean or anything. But like, I was alone and I didn't want anybody to come inside. What
did you do?
I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. We're not interested. Thank you and have a great day. And I'm like, bye.
Okay.
That was just, I don't know if it's a scam or anything, but you know, if you're all alone.
I don't know.
If you're all alone,
people. I mean, there was one time like I was having like sushi and there were like 2 Jehovah's Witnesses right beside me.
Yeah.
So they were good. casual conversation. I was like,
if it's a public place, why not? But
going
like
to your house and
you
stuff.
you can't be sure anymore. Like you need to be extra careful. Okay. So going back.
So I answered the doorbell. And it was from an electric company representative. My initial reaction was, are you here because I wasn't able to pay my bills? So I asked him. That's what I asked. Like in Japanese, like, is it because I didn't pay my bills? And he was like, no. I'm here to check your electricity meterage or whatever, something like that. Something about a check is what he was going to do.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, okay, so you need to check something on a Sunday? Okay.
Ooh.
Anyway, I let him in, but not in my house, okay? I just let him in the front door because they're like, there's a gate kind of thing. And then, so he came, and then, okay, I forgot. Okay, so before I let him in, he was like, I went the other day, but you weren't here, so I'm coming in again. And that was the first red flag for me, because I was in the house the whole freaking time.
You were there.
Like for the past week, I was like working from home. But I don't know, maybe he came when I was like going for groceries or whatever. But so I went out, I wore my mask and everything. And so he said he was working with TEPCO, which is a known electric company here in Japan. And he gave me his name and showed me his business card. And this is the second red flag.
Okay, so
because it was not from TEPCO. And I was like, oh, okay.
What the fuck?
Okay, so because some areas might, I don't know, like this is what I hear, like some areas might outsource their salespeople to other companies, but I don't know how true that is. But be wary for those who are listening, because a lot of places can abuse this and do abuse this. Okay. So he was showing me his card and it wasn't from TEPCO, and I was like, oh, okay. So second red flag from there. And so he was there apparently for sales, and he wanted to check my my electric meter, because he wanted to know if I'm like paying the right amount or something like that. So he said that if I bundle my gas and electric bills together, I can get it cheaper. Is that a thing there in Australia? You can bundle things?
Oh. No, I've never heard of that.
So I don't know if this is like...
I don't pay for the bills.
There you go. So I don't know if this is common practice elsewhere, but here in Japan, so that is an option. And for me, I'm currently bundled. So my gas bills and electric bills are already bundled for a discounted price. So these sales talk things were very common. Okay. So I was like, but I'm already bundled. He said if he can check my current bill. And he said that it was supposed to have been delivered yesterday. The day before. So the day before that conversation. And I was like, no. Because I checked my mailbox yesterday, but there was nothing there. But he insisted. It should have been there yesterday. And I was like, really? So that's another like red flag for me, because it doesn't match up. So I went down, checked my mailbox again with him. And so while I was going down, he was very nice. You know, he said like, he was showing politeness. He said, because it's a weekend, really sorry for taking my precious time, blah, blah, blah. You know, very Japanese. But honestly, I wasn't like having it, because I was having lunch with family and, you know, my time was like being like used. And so I checked, but my mailbox was empty. So I was like, no, I don't have a bill. And now he was asking for another bill from the past. He said any bill will do. Okay, so I was like, man, I don't know. Such a hassle, exactly. So I went inside the house and I looked for one.
What? How nice are you to
at this time,
that?
Like the red flags were popping up, but I wasn't like still like fully aware of the situation.
Yeah.
So I went in and I found an old bill of mine after fumbling for many minutes. I went back out. And he was there, and he checked it, and he was telling me how expensive my bill was. So I already told him that I was bundled with Tokyo Gas.
Yeah.
But he said if I switch to them, it will be thousands a year cheaper. And the switching only takes like 2 to 3 minutes of writing down information, blah blah blah. And I was like, You're gonna take information away from me?
Yeah.
I just didn't want to trust him, okay? Because for me, it couldn't be this easy. Well, I mean, it might be, but I don't know. So I told him, okay, so I don't really have time right now. I can do this online, right? And he said I couldn't.
Okay, that's weird.
Okay, red flag number 3.
Yeah.
He wanted me to do it right there and then, saying that I couldn't go online, and even if I called the call centers, they wouldn't be able to assist me because they were swamped because of the coronavirus and whatever.
Oh.
I mean, that part, believable, but still, right?
Yeah.
If you're not...
He thought this through,
yeah. And if you're not recommending online even, I mean, it would be still sales. It will still connect to sales if I go online and do stuff, right? And he was like saying, and I'm going to Shizuoka tomorrow for work and I wouldn't be able to assist you. So the next time I can come would be like in a month or 2 or something like that. So he started to grow defensive.
Ooh.
And at first, he was being very friendly. And he was like complimenting my Japanese, and he was like, "Oh, you're a foreigner. Where are you from? Blah blah blah. Oh, you're Japanese. Blah 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 blah." So it was like that at the start, but then after that, it started to change. So for me, I really didn't want to do it. So I said, "Okay, I want to think about it." And then he started like going like, "Do you even know TEPCO? Do you know that this is a reputable company?"
No way.
Because I was like, yeah, exactly. Because I was looking at him. I was looking at him with like very dubious eyes. And I'm like, what are you like?
With that face?
Yeah, I'm like staring at him down, looking at him up, down. Yeah, and everything. I even checked his like card again and really saw that it wasn't TEPCO. But he said he was from TEPCO. But then he just reiterated his name and like, no, I'm from TEPCO. So to me, like, asking me, don't you know TEPCO? Don't you know that it's a reputable company? So it was like I was being attacked as a foreigner. So that kind of strategy, like, don't you know that we are good? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So don't you know anything about Japan? And like, why don't you trust me and my big company?
Yeah.
It's like, I should have noted what his real company name was. Because,
you should have. Yeah,
it was just like I was very caught up in the moment.
But you were in the moment. That would have been so hard to like remember all the details and stuff.
Exactly. And
okay, then what happened?
I couldn't even get his card and everything because Corona. I didn't want to receive anything from him. I didn't want to touch him. I was like maintaining my social distance while that was happening.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know TEPCO. I trust them, but I want to think about it. I want to do my research. Then he went on saying that, you know what, your bill is really expensive. Don't you know how expensive your bill is? Like, he was like attacking my bill and everything. And I was like, excuse me. Don't you dare judge my electric usage. I was like, why? It's not my fault. I use my aircon all the time. No, I'm just kidding. It's really hot. It's summer. So at this point, I was like fed up. And I didn't want to be like coerced, into buying into his plan or whatever it is. At this point, I really didn't think like, are you really like a con artist or whatever? I was still like doubting it in my mind. So I just told him, you know what? I don't think so. This is not expensive for me. I can totally afford this. That's what I said.
Totally snapped.
Like, I just like, no, I'm just gonna play around with you now because I'm like, I can't.
Go for it, Kuya Kyle. Go for the kill.
Go for the kill. And he was like, are you sure you even understand electric bills?
Why?
And I was like, honestly, I had very little understanding. But I didn't want to just trust it on him to teach me what expensive is or not. So I put my foot down. I told him, no, I just really want to think about it. I want to do my research. And then his voice started to like get bigger. He was getting, agitated as well.
Ooh, scary.
And then he was like, what is there to think about? If you were Japanese, you would just get this plan because it will save you money. Japanese people wouldn't even hesitate to get this. That's what he said.
Oh.
And I was like, in my mind, I was like, excuse me, I'm not Japanese. In retrospect, I should have said it vocally.
Yeah, as you can see, Japanese,
like you were even telling me.
I am hesitating.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't trust you. But, if he was coercing me and he think that it would work on me like that, boy, was he wrong. I was like, no, let me think about it. just let me think about it. He was like, okay, so it's okay for you to pay this extremely expensive bill.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can afford it. And then he handed my bill back, and then he just left. He was like, okay. He handed it, and he's like,
wow,
yeah.
You handled that really well, though. Yeah. But like, first of all, how do you know if it's a scam or
okay,
not?
So after that, I was really flustered and everything, because there were a lot of red flags in my head already.
Yeah, definitely.
So I searched online. I go to TEPCO's website.
Yeah.
And then they had a page just for this moment.
Oh.
And it had warnings about people like him. They have official announcements on their website.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the examples are like selling you weird appliances that would help lower the bills or something like that. Or conversion of your whole apartment so that it would be like an all-electric home or whatever. Or using solar panels. That kind of thing. Like just force you to buy. Or the cases that happened to me, which is one is asking for information like bank accounts. They can use your money against you. And they can ask you to like pay for a bill that you don't have a contract for or something like that.
Yeah.
So there are many cases. So one tip for people, I mean, it's really good to know that these things really happen and just, be on your guard.
Definitely.
So to answer the question, I'm not really sure. Okay, 100% if it was a scam, but it really felt like it, one.
Yeah, for sure it would have been a scam,
and according to the website, it would definitely fall into the category of a scam, because if he really was a salesperson for TEPCO, like he should have had at least proof to show it.
Yeah.
So the website would say that there are a lot of people faking to be people from TEPCO. So what they ask for is look for their kinmusho. Thank you, Joe. Look for their kinmusho, and it's like an employee certificate. If you ask for it, they should be able to show it.
Yeah, but what if they fake that as well, and you won't be able to tell?
Exactly, and on the website, it just says like it has the logo of TEPCO or whatever.
Yeah, you can Photoshop.
It's really hard.
That.
Yeah, you can really do that.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of other articles and testimonials or like blogs about this kind of con man, which really just like solidified everything. Like, oh man, I could have been conned for real if I wasn't careful.
Yeah, if I was in your place, I would have been conned and like gave up to his coercion because I'm scared. Why don't you pay for it? Because it's cheaper. And I'm like, okay, it's cheaper. Here's my money.
I remember exactly my NHK days. Like, when they talked to me into it, what if that person was a con artist? And, like, it wasn't legit? I could have lost all of my money.
Yeah.
And it would have been a very horrible experience. And imagine a lot of foreigners who don't know better.
Yeah, definitely. Like, fearing not paying because of the law and stuff. You'd just be like, oh, okay. Here you go. Here's my money.
Or like, people who would be...
I don't want any trouble.
Exactly. Or people who would be coerced into like paying something they don't really know.
He was very aggressive.
And he was super confident. And I was like, man, this guy is like really, really good at this. But I was like, I don't trust you.
Good for you that you were able to spot that.
Yeah.
I think TEPCO should have when people come, they should email you at least from their TEPCO email and say, please expect a person in 3 to 5 days to something, like something like that. Like they just can't come in unannounced, like randomly.
Usually that's the case. You apply for it before they come. There are also cases like this where people just like knock on your doors and like do sales, like door to door,
like legitimately.
Yeah, so it's also a thing. So it's really hard to discern which is the case.
That's so hard.
But yeah, so for me, at first I really didn't know. And I thought maybe this person really is just here to check on something. But then when he came in, he started sales talking me into things. Honestly, I was really shaken up. And as soon as that happened, I talked to my friends and everything. And the thing is, they also experienced something like this.
Ooh.
And they were also... they said to me that they were able to just drive them off as well.
Yeah, that's hard. Because I remember... during that lunch, you messaged me. You were like, "Oh my gosh, Jerry, I was almost scammed. Can we do the podcast now? And I need to share this."
Yeah, I wanted fresh, off my mind.
Yeah.
But right after that, I wrote
was...
everything down like frantically, like, oh my god, this is what happened. I need to be able to tell this story because this is also like, for me, like a PSA to people, to just tell people to be wary, because apparently there's a lot of cases like this going on in Japan right now, and we need to be just really careful.
So people are just stepping up their game because of like the coronavirus situation, and just like taking advantage of panic people. And,
the whole buying into people's like weak state. So I actually prepared some tips. So I summarized it for people, like how you can potentially avoid these situations based on my experience.
Love that for us. Yeah.
So my tip number 1, if you're not expecting a package or a delivery, just do not answer the doorbell. Same with calls, because some of these come in the form of calls. So if you're not expecting a call, don't accept it. But then, you know, sometimes you're not really sure, right?
Yeah.
What if like there's a package coming in for me and I'm just like, it was a surprise or something from a friend, or like maybe Jerry was gonna give me something really nice for my birthday or something like that, but nothing really came, so I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding, Jerry. So anyway, so if you really want to like accept that doorbell and answer it, and it happens to be someone like you don't know or something that you didn't expect, you can just say that you don't accept sales stock.
Oh, well, for me, about like the call situation, because that's a thing in Australia too, like they scam you through calls. Yeah, so there were times when I would apply a lot for jobs, right? So I would expect like random numbers calling me back, so I was really excited. And I would get like tons of random calls about selling me IT systems and
sales.
Sales talk. And one time I answered it, and it was like an automated Chinese recording about eBay and stuff. And
how did you know it was eBay?
No, sorry, not eBay. DHL? DHS? What's the delivery company? DHL. It's DHL. So they were like Chinese, DHL, Chinese. And then my tita, who has been living here for like 20 years, said, as soon as you say hello, they can change your voice recording into like you saying yes. They can grab that recording of you and then sign you up for some like registration or something, and then they'll use your words like,
that is scary technology,
saying that, you signed up for it. Yeah, like they're stepping it up.
But Jerry, that is so scary because it happened to me too.
Yeah,
the Chinese call.
Really?
I thought it was just here in Japan. Like some people, I received this call. It was a Chinese person, like talking, and like I put it down as soon as like it happened, because I was like, I don't even understand. Like
they're tracking you.
So oh my gosh, scary.
It's a scary.
So anyway, if here in Japan though, if people come in and you don't want sales talks, you can just say phrases like this, like 営業はお断りです. So you can say something like that, or maybe you can just say like, I'm busy, 忙しいです, すいません, like something like that. So just say those things. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2.
Okay.
So legally, they are not allowed to enter the house without your permission.
Okay.
So you can just tell them to go, and that is legally okay. If they don't go, you can call the police.
Okay, got it.
The next tip is like really check their name and their company, receive their business cards. That was my mistake. I didn't do that, and I should have. And I could have like double checked it.
But I thought you looked into
I did like, check it, but I didn't write it down, see? So I could have like written it down. And then I could have like submitted.
Oh yeah, you should have taken a photo.
I took a photo and like put it on my blogs or whatever.
Here, I'm taking your photo, okay? So you better be legitimate.
Exactly. I didn't do that. Oh, my mistake. But then also check for like proper documents from their companies. For example, for TEPCO, it's the Kimmusho. So it has the proper logos over them. But
but still. You won't be able to tell the real certificate from the fake one. So just rather
next
not.
Tip for me is, if you're able to call the call center at the time to confirm it, you should.
Yes.
and be there and make that person be there.
That's smart.
To just like call with you so that, you know, they really know it's legit.
Yeah. Okay,
I wish I did that during that time.
Yeah, but no, he said, oh, call centers are busy because of the COVID situation, which makes sense. So
okay,
you're like,
I should just give up.
I'm going to be put on hold anyway.
But whatever. I would have like done it. I mean, if you're taking my time, I'm going to take your time as well. I don't give a... Anyway, yeah, exactly. And like, this is my favorite tip of all. So there's this thing called like the foreigner card here in Japan. And you should just use it. Use your foreignness. Like just pretend you don't know Japanese. And most salespeople will back down for sure. They're just gonna be like, I ain't wasting my time.
What if like you answer the doorbell and be like full Japanese, like konnichiwa,
oh my god,
and then he starts talking and be like, oh, I don't speak.
Yeah, you can do that. You can just like flip it and it'll be like, I don't know. Like that happened to me before. I was like, I answered in Japanese, in full Japanese,
like, hey, watashi no namae wa.
Why would I introduce myself there? Very friendly, so hospitable.
Like
just giving it to them like for free. You don't really need to like bother me anymore. Here, you can have it.
Yeah.
Wow, you'd be an easy target here.
Yeah, I'm scared.
But yeah, so it happened to me. But most of the time, like, they would just back down. And see, if it really was an important matter, they would send you mail or emails about that. So you should just wait for official notification. Because if it isn't really official, they wouldn't really, like, I don't think it has anything to relate with you right now, right? So,
and I think if somebody comes and, like, asks for your information and your money, then that's, like, automatic red flag. Like, you don't give that right there and then without any prior notice or anything. So as soon as they ask for that, don't give it. You have to like confirm it elsewhere first, like confirm from the actual source.
Honestly, it was a good deal. If you think about it, I really wanted to save thousands out of my electric bill.
Yeah,
then,
for sure.
Like, I don't want to do it just then and there. I really needed to know if that guy was legit.
Good job. Yeah, you made like the right decisions.
Honestly, I have a lot of friends like being sales talk because, you know, they didn't know better. They're foreigners basically, and like being sales talk into buying things that they don't really need. And it would hurt me, you know, to see them like, you know, falling into that trap and like imagine all the other people who don't know better and just everyone just like stay safe.
Yeah, it's really scary. There's also a thing here in Australia where somebody calls you and says like, we're from the Australia taxation office and you have bills from the government that are overdue. And if you don't pay them at a certain period, then we will come knock at your doors and
but
you'll
these
have
are
to
legit,
go to jail.
right? Really?
No, these are fake. A lot of people believe it, and a lot of people give their money like via call and be like, okay, I'm gonna send money, blah blah blah, and thousands of dollars are stolen. Because people are scared, like, but you know, they wouldn't do that. So once again, just fact check.
If you're in that situation when you don't know better, honestly, and then they're gonna come to you and arrest you and stuff like that.
Yeah, like threats, coercion. It could work on a lot of people, especially
foreigners, and especially if it comes from like sort of legit sounding places. You know, it's is there really a tax agency here? Do we really pay tax? No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, like I'm trying to imagine like your side, like speaking a different language and then people coming to you. That's scary. Like I can't imagine experiencing that. That was so random.
I know, right?
Last week.
And we were just like having fun, and then after that was just like
living peacefully, minding your own
they just
business.
Come like the plague.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you didn't fall for it.
Me too. They're so heartless. Like.
Yeah, you need to be extra careful because people will do anything for, you know, money and con.
Do you remember the support money from the government that I talked about, the 100,000 thing? There are a lot of people who are conning people because of this, trying to get their money, like the old people.
See?
Exactly. So there's so many forms of deception here in Japan. There's so many forms of conning, scams, and everything. And there's a really good place to find all of these information, and that is through the government websites. Government websites in Japan, just check it out, and there's this place where everything is like summarized. I would just put the links down on the description below just so that people can see what kind of information they need to look out for, just in case.
That's nice.
Be careful.
Be careful, guys, everyone. Well, what a journey. That was a lot. Like, it's scary. People would do anything nowadays.
For that coin, Jer. I mean, everyone's just grinding for that coin.
Grinding for that coin.
In evil ways and in good ways. So just stay on the good side of things.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you, Kuya Kyle, for sharing that and making people more aware so that people know what to do next time, which is really helpful. So I'm sure a lot of people in Japan would appreciate your tips and your stories. So thank you for that.
Thank you for letting me share this to everyone. Yeah, if anyone here listening, if you have stories of being scammed or anything, or you think you were scammed, please share us your stories. We really want to know how you dealt with it and that kind of situation.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
And on that note, we want everyone to be involved.
Ooh, fun. How? How will they get involved?
So we want everyone to send us questions about living abroad. What do you want to know about us? And it will be an Ask the Distant Relative section.
Oh, so cute.
So we would just try to answer everything that you want to know about life abroad and everything. Because we're really curious about how you feel. Yeah.
And we can shout you guys out and you can know more about us and what you want to know about life abroad.
Life abroad, exactly.
So fun in the sun.
So how can they connect with us, Jer?
Oh, okay. So you can connect to us via Instagram. It's at Distant Relatives, the podcast. We also have a Facebook page. It's Distant Relatives. And also you can go to our email address. It's in the description below.
So very excited for your suggestions and your questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So are we gonna wrap up, Kuya Kyle?
Yeah, this is a quick PSA kind of episode.
Yeah, that was good. Helpful,
good. Very helpful, yeah. I'm really glad that we were able to do this.
Yeah, thank you, Kuya Kyle.
Okay, so this has been Distant Relatives. And remember, even if life abroad gets hard,
you don't have to go through it alone.
Janet!